Hello. So Stoke City, how did they get on last season? Who have they brought in, and how are they going to fare in the coming season? Now, Stoke finished a very respectable ninth place last season. Mark Hughes did a great job confounding those critics who'd written him off, who said that Stoke was certain of relegation. I know there are a lot of people that don't like Mark Hughes and think he's done a bad job. Richard Lockerbie amongst them. I actually think he's got a reasonably good track record, and the manner in which he managed to change Stoke's style of football shortly after coming in was very good to see. They did play a nice brand of attacking football last season. Stephen Ireland showing some of the class that made him a highly rated young player at Man City. I see the on loan from Liverpool scoring some nice goals, and they were involved in some great ties last season. In fact, in terms of goal scoring, in the bottom 11, they were the second top scorers behind Swansea City. And with that, they retained the solid defensive setup that Tony Pulis had installed there over his years at the Britannia Stadium. Looking at the players they've brought in, I think Hughes has done some good business. He's brought in Phil Bardsley, who is a tough tackling right back, Scottish international, good player actually. I think he'd been released from Sunderland more to do with his attitude than any playing ability. They brought in Miram Diouf. Mark Hughes has been after him for a long time. I'm not too sure why. His goal scoring record in Germany doesn't really stand up to scrutiny, but I know Hughes worked with him previously at Blackburn, and he's been after him for a while. Steve Sidwell, good quality Premier League midfielder. He'll add some options in there. Bojan Krkic, and a lot of people are getting excited about. I think he's a little bit overrated, and always has been, but hopefully he can live up to expectations. And also Diontan Teixeira, who I'm not going to pretend I know anything about. I think those players will add some quality to the squad. In terms of how they've got on this season, I think it's key that Stephen Ireland continues performing well in the centre of midfield. Last season they struggled in terms of having a consistent goal scorer. Peter Crouch was their top scorer with 10 goals, and hopefully Bojan will take some of the burden off. I think it's also important that they've kept hold of a couple of their top players. Begovic is an outstanding goalkeeper, and I'm surprised he's still there. Ryan Shawcross is a very solid defender, and those two there ensure that I think next season Stoke will finish below Newcastle in ninth place.